What's happening? It's the most dangerous voice in Detroit, aka Mr. Dawgface, call it wrong. Y'all know what it is. I'm jumping off the porch with dirty glove bastard.
These never been a thief, I'm a robber, it's a difference. Anytime there's beef or a problem, I get ignorant.
All right, so we got the one and only Dawgface back on off the porch, man. Third time, fourth time, fifth time, I don't even know anymore.
I think this gotta be like the fourth time. I know I'm alumni, but I think I'm like, I don't know if somebody been here more than me. It's been me. I think I got the crown right now.
A couple people got you beat.
Who?
I think VL Deck's been here 5 times.
Yeah.
My boy Hustle Rue used to come all the time.
Right.
He was up there like 6, 7 times.
Right. I mean, it is what it is, man. I'm just honored to have the opportunity to be here. You feel what I'm saying? It is what it is.
Nah, definitely, man.
Y'all set the standard before anybody was y'all, so it is what it is.
Nah, I appreciate that, man. And I see you moving a little different now, man. You pulling up with security now? You used to be solo dolo all the time, man.
No, listen, it's a little more, life is a little more complex than it was before, so it's real right now. So people don't like when you talk about them. People are sensitive. Black people especially are sensitive, so I don't want to put myself in a situation or in a predicament where I find myself back locked up for having to defend myself about something I said. So all my people, they've been telling me for years, man, that you need security. So now I finally agreed to it because I really let them handle it versus me bumping heads with somebody over something I said. Man, I don't got time to be jaw-jacking and tongue wrestling with nobody and scuffling with nobody about something I said. I don't got time for that, so I let them handle that.
Yeah. And you had made the news like a couple years ago. There was some incident on the Interstate here in Atlanta too, where 2 people tried to run up on you, man.
Yeah, they tried it. It didn't work out for them. Whenever that subject has come up, even though I can talk about it now because they just said they made a determination that they first tried to charge me with, or wanted to charge me with vehicular homicide because of the nature of it. After the investigation, they determined that the guy tried to carjack me. They got the footage from the gas station where it all initially started at, and they found out that made a determination that it was really like some self-defense. Two guys ran up on me with pistols. I'm gonna say carjacking, because I was in my old school. I'm gonna say he was trying to carjack, but it didn't work out for him. I ran one of the ass over and kept it moving, you feel me? So that's just what it was. But
now, do you think that was something random, or were you targeted, or?
No, it wasn't random, it was a target. Because I had just gotten into it with a guy earlier that night at a club in Buckhead, Whiskey Mistress. So it was a planned thing. They tracked me down. They thought they had me.
Shit, blessed, bro. Blessed to still be here.
Yeah. And I count it as a blessing too. And whenever this has come up on other platforms, I've never really gotten into details about what transpired and why it transpired. So listen, it's easy for somebody in my position to kind of like rant and rave about it, but somebody did lose their life. Do I care about it? No, I don't care about it because you was trying to get down on me. But at the same time, the universe operates in a way to where even if you find yourself in an unfortunate set of circumstances, it's still a way you're supposed to communicate about it without trying to be, I'm not Gucci Man with Jeezy. I'll put it like that, you know what I'm saying? So I understand, life happens. So I try to measure how I talk about it because somebody did lose their life.
Yeah, you never know how their people's gonna feel about it and try to, react.
I don't care about that either, because you should have told them better. That's where home training come in. That's where home training and proper guidance come in. That's why he did. But outside of me saying that, I don't like to elaborate and drag on it. It is what it is. But I could say it's a warning for anybody else, because it is a warning for anybody else. I ain't going. Yeah. I'm not going ever. Under no circumstances. I'd rather be in jail somewhere than I can't come back from being dead. You know what I'm saying? So I'm going to do whatever I got to do to make sure I make it home. Period. Simple as that.
No, understood, man. So, Dawgface, you've been going viral all year, man. Mm-hmm. Most recently, 50 Cent reposted you. Right. I guess a phone call or an interview you did with one of the strippers that was at Big Meech party, man. Talk about the reaction when you see 50 Cent posting this, man.
Oh, man. So, it was crazy. I know that 50 and Big Meech have a standing misunderstanding, which all basically stem from him standing next to Rick Ross and aligning himself with Rick Ross after he came home from prison. And everybody in the world know that if you align yourself with somebody that 50 don't like, you know what you're gonna get. I'm thinking that he thought that he was bigger than that because of who he was prior to going to prison. He don't understand how this shit work right now. You align yourself with somebody who has vocalized their dislike with something 50 Cent got going on, your ass is grass. I knew that he was gonna repost it, bro. I had no doubt in my mind that he was gonna repost it. He hadn't said anything about the party and the afterglow of the party and the, but I knew he was gonna repost it because a couple of people who associated with him contacted me like, man, we sending your whole page to 50. He gonna grab something. So I knew it was coming. I didn't know which one because I interviewed 8 girls in total. I threw up 4 different interviews, pieces of the interview, because I didn't even put the whole interview up. The whole interview is about how they described it. That shit is explosive. I just put up like 4, 5 minutes, 6, 7 minutes of the interviews that I did put up. It was like 4 or 5 minutes. I think one interview was like 12 minutes, but that was the longest one. But I interviewed 8 different females who were at the party, and they all had the same opinion of it, except for the Miami chicks. The Miami chicks end up getting down because they tip out was lower, they paid $150. Everybody, all the girls from Houston, Detroit, Atlanta, New York, Chicago, all of them paid $500 for tip out. So he got out on them. You hear me? So when 50 posted it, I laughed at that shit. You hear me? I knew it was coming. I just didn't know which clip he was gonna share.
Now, if someone's watching this and they have no idea what you talk about, break down what happened at this Big Meech club appearance.
Well, I mean, so it wasn't his welcome home party because he'd been home for over a year now, I think. It was his off tether party because when you come home from the feds, they still, in most situations, you either be in the halfway house or they put you on an ankle monitor as a form of kind of like out of prison parole type situation, right? So he was on ankle monitor. So that party was just a celebratory event of him being released from ankle monitor. Mm-hmm. So he had a strip party in the strip club that he owns down in Miami, which is Club 24 Miami is what I think it's called. And that was a party just celebrating him being able to move around and really enjoy his freedom now. And that party was supposed to be that. And to tell you the truth about it, bro, that was his golden opportunity to recover from all the bad pub that he'd been receiving since he fell out with 50. And everybody just knew that he was gonna put on and just go crazy because of the bad pub and because of all the missteps and mishaps that have been going on with him and been going on with his son. Everybody knew that he was really gonna go crazy at the party just to kind of like to signal everybody that Big Meech is back. Mm-hmm. That ain't how it happened. That ain't how it turned out. You had dancers come from all over the country who came down there by request. They didn't just show up like most people say, or they just showed up expecting to get some money. That ain't what happened. It was a coordinated event where he had tapped into people to bring strippers from all across the country to make it look as big as he possibly could. The girls who came from different states and different cities, they came down there, they left with nothing. Most of the girls left, the tip out was $500. Most of the girls, if you fly from Detroit going to Miami, and it wasn't like they all joined forces and went down there and shared the expense. Mm-hmm. So you had girls traveling on their own to come down there to do what girls do in a strip club. All the reports I got is that they were down. They spent about between $1,000 to $1,500 just to accommodate the trip. Most of the girls were in the red. They lost money. They made $600. Nobody made more than $1,000. So it was a terrible situation. It was a horrible situation. And then on top of that, even worse than that, the only thing worse than that is the fact that he embraced White Boy Rick, who's Detroit's biggest rat of all time. That was just crazy within and of itself too.
How would you rate all the moves that Meech has been making since he's been home?
On a scale from what?
1 to 10.
On a scale from 1 to 10, I would give him a minus 10 because everything he's done has been counterproductive. I want to say, bro, I ain't trying to use no big words or nothing, right? But all that shit, it's like, I don't give a fuck how long you've been in prison. There's no way that he couldn't have known or shouldn't have known that the moves that he made with the whole Rick Ross situation, the concert situation that failed, and then this party, then him doing the video before the concert happened. Everything that he's done publicly has been a disaster. And it's been made worse by the fact that his son is an especially stupid motherfucker too. So everything around him is stupid. He need to get rid of all the motherfuckers around him. All of them need to go. Because it's obvious that whoever he's taking advice from, they're not operating with no genuine form of wisdom or understanding of what he's supposed to be doing now in 2025, 2026. He need to surround himself with people who actually know what the fuck they doing. It's obvious that he hanging around or he's taking advice from people that he was cool with 20 years ago. And most of them people, especially the Atlanta motherfuckers, all them Atlanta motherfuckers he hanging around, he need to hurry up and get the fuck away from them. He can't get away from them motherfuckers fast enough. They giving him all the wrong motherfucking insight, whatever I don't even know what the fuck they doing. But he needs to surround himself with people who are actually in the know, who actually have their finger on the pulse of what's going on in society, not just no street shit. I'm talking about just in the world as a whole, bro. I ain't talking about street, underworld, gangster shit. I'm just talking about just living life, period. You know what I'm saying? Because he know he can't really get into all that because he gonna be forever under a microscope by the feds and about law enforcement. But just from a social standpoint, social media standpoint, terrible job, terrible. I give him a -10. He's not even on the radar. That shit is ridiculous. You know it, I know it, and God know every move that he made has been the most ridiculous shit in the world.
What can he do to redeem himself? Say you was in his circle, like what would you tell him to do?
I mean, there's nothing he can do. First of all, everybody who has an opinion about Big Meech, they have that opinion. Whether you think he told or didn't tell, whether you think he made a mistake with 50 and Rick Ross, or whether you don't care about what happened, whether you think that he had the right to do what he did because he is Big Meech, so he's his own person. It don't matter how you feel, he can't take back what's happened since he's been home. But moving forward, it just has to be wiser and smarter. You know what I'm saying? He had to be more intuitive about how he moved. And I'm saying this again, the people that I see him around, just on pictures, are all the wrong people to be around. You're around motherfuckers who will have no motion whatsoever. I know there are people in the background moving and operating in the shadows, right? But you kind of like, you're making it hard for the people in the background who are moving in the shadows to help you move forward. Because you fucking with all these dumb, goofy ass niggas out front, out loud.
Is it that just because of his loyalty to these people?
Probably so. Probably so. If I had to guess, if I had to hazard a guess, I would say it's because, I wouldn't even say it was loyalty. I think with him, it's about being familiar with people. Okay. He's comfortable. Don't forget he did over 20 years in the penitentiary. So I think the people who he has around him right now are the people that he's comfortable with because of his past relationship with them.
Yeah. Now, last time you saw on these steps, you had a lot to say about Wack100.
He's still a hoe. It's even worse now. The whole T Grizzly shit. Did you see that shit?
Oh yeah.
The Akademiks thing.
Yeah. So how did that opportunity come about for you and Wack to get on the phone call during Akademiks stream together?
Well, oh, listen, man. I call him Wack Keisha. I don't call him Wack100. Man, Wack Keisha, because he's a super, ultra, uber feminine person, bro. He's the closest thing to a tranny that I can think of. You hear me? I don't know what woman in their right mind would even lay down with something like that because he's all feminine. You feel what I'm saying? So what happened is that Wack went on an attack with T Grizzly, saying that T Grizzly had snitched on the baby shooter Tony Johnson guy who, based on his house getting broken into. None of that shit was true. So Akademiks knows T Grizzly. You know what I'm saying? So T called Akademiks and said, hey, listen, man, I'm not finna get baited into going back and forth with Wack100 and his whole clubhouse crew and all them sucker Christopher Loves and all them rap motherfuckers. He said, I'm not finna get baited like Big U did, going back and forth with them, because really what he wanna do, he trying to draw me into a conversation so that he can make me hot, and then so that he can introduce other shit, like the shit that happened with my aunt, the shit that happened with me in the streets and shit like that. So all he's trying to do is just bait me into going back and forth with him so that the feds can take a look at me, so he can try to like trip me up, right? Not that he could or would have, but he's trying to. What Wack does is that everybody that he gets into it with, they locked up. Everybody. Think about it. Everybody that he's had a beef with, they locked up, or they suffered some type of egregious loss just based on getting back and forth with that sucker, right? So T was like, man, I'm not finna get back and forth. I'm not finna go back and forth with that lane. What I will do is, I got my man Dawgface, who's aware, who's familiar with everything that Wack is talking about, and I want you to interview him, bring him on your live stream, and then he'll stand in for me. And when you got people who who have the kind of star power that T has, not just in the world of music, but with the video game and all the different endorsement deals that he got, it doesn't serve to his advantage in no way, even though he does know how to talk. He does know how to articulate. He didn't need me to do anything because he can defend himself. But the whole point is that Wack was just trying to get viral moments by going back and forth with T Grizzly. And we wanted to rob him of that opportunity, right? So Akademiks asked me to explain what was going on, right? I explained what was going on. We talked for we was on FaceTime, because he FaceTimed me with Akademiks on the phone. We were on the phone almost 2 hours, and I was just breaking down how everything Wack was doing was flawed and phony and was lying. And just prior to that, a couple days prior to that, when the first paperwork that Wack had introduced was supposed to be a police report. When he introduced that, and he gave it to Christopher Lovejoy Post, and then the internet started going crazy with the shit, right? Then he went to No Jumper, and of course Adam goofy ass picked up on it and ran with it, right? Because he's a flunky of Wack. And then he took it to Akademiks, and he put it out there. So he came with a second round of paperwork, and he gave it to Act. On live stream, he gave a second piece of paperwork. He sent it to him like, man, I got the real proof. That first piece of paperwork, don't worry about that. I have the real proof right here. I got a 3-page document that really verifies that T Grizzly did tell. So he sent it to him, but Act didn't show it to the world. So during the FaceTime conversation, I said, man, what was that paper he posted that sent you? So he said, I'm gonna send it to y'all right now. So he sent it to me and T. And it was an appeal document from the California State of Appeal, second division. So when I looked at it, because I've been locked up my whole life, I've been dealing with law my whole life. When I looked at it, I said, what is this? I said, Act, this is an appeal document. How in the world could Baby Shooter be at the appellate level when he's never been arrested, charged, tried by a jury of his peers or by a judge at bench trial? He ain't never been convicted of this shit. So why in the world, and how in the world could this whole situation be at the appellate level right now? It's impossible. So Act was like, yeah, you're right. So once I said that, he said, I'm gonna bring you on my show. Be ready about 5 o'clock. 5 o'clock, my phone rang. I came on the show. Me and that sucker went back and forth. And the one thing about it is that he couldn't stand up because he was standing on a lie to begin with. It's hard for you to defend a lie, especially when you're talking to somebody. You can't out-talk me, period. And you don't have the facts to support what you were saying. So all he simply relies on is that once he gets into a back and forth with you online, he gonna turn up on you and start cussing you out. If he knows anything about you, he gonna start shooting at you, which is what he tried to do with me. Oh, you ain't from Detroit, you from Pontiac. Nigga, that's like saying you ain't from LA, you from Long Beach. You ain't from LA, you from Oakland. That's like saying if you from New York, you ain't from Brooklyn, you from Queens. Oh, you ain't from Queens, you from Harlem. You ain't from Harlem, you from South Bronx. Listen, when you from in Michigan, bro, let me tell you something about Pontiac. This is the first time I ever really kind of like talked about this shit, right? Like I just said, if you're from California, right? Let's fuck all that. Let's go right to Florida. That's like a motherfucker from Miami saying, oh, you ain't from Miami, you from Duval County, you from Jacksonville. What the fuck you think going on up in Jacksonville? Them boys in Jacksonville going crazy. So you mean to tell me that the only city in the state of Michigan where motherfuckers get busy at or put your dick in the dirt is Detroit? That ain't true. Just like it ain't true in California. LA ain't the only city in California where niggas will give you your issue. In Atlanta, in Georgia, the only city in Georgia where a motherfucker get your ass together and pack your ass up is in Atlanta. No, you go down to Macon, they'll pack your ass up. You go to Augusta, they'll pack your ass up. So it's just like that, bro.
Were you surprised that he hung up during the call?
I was surprised that he hung up. I was surprised. I think me and Act, the whole world was surprised, which is why when it happened, that shit went viral. The fact that the thing that took that clip as big as it went, it wasn't that I was just on Akademiks going back and forth with this bitch ass nigga. It was the fact that he hung up. You hung up out of frustration. That's why you hung up. You didn't have the facts. You couldn't do shit with me. It's as simple as that. And a motherfucker like him, whenever he gets into a back and forth with somebody who a real man, who really know how to articulate themselves, he run every time. That's his defense. I'm gonna run, shut it down, and then I'll come back later when this person is not here to make my point. But if you're a man, you can stand on that shit wherever, however, whenever.
Have y'all had a conversation or a back and forth online since then?
No, we had a conversation. I talked to him about a month ago. Big homie CC put me on the phone when he was in Vegas doing content. It was Big homie CC, the Unc 607 guy, Christopher Lovejoy, King Yeller. They were all in Vegas doing content together, right? And before Big homie CC had called me the day before, like, man, I'm finna be in Vegas tomorrow. I'm being around Wack. I'm gonna put you on the phone with him so you can talk your shit to him, right? Because at that point, the Akademiks things had already happened, and I was just trying to figure out what his next move was gonna be. So Big homie CC said, I'm gonna put you on the phone with him so you can do what you're gonna do with him, right? But they're gonna be filming, so you just already know, right? So I know that. Anytime you're on the phone with Wack, he definitely filming everything, right? So he can put it in his archives and hopefully bring it out and use it against you later. But what he didn't know is that I was already aware. So when Big homie CC got around him, he did what he said he was gonna do. He called me, put me on the phone with him. So he was like, the first thing I said, like, yeah, nigga, I know you love me. You can't fuck with me. You know that, like, man, I ain't finna argue with you. I know how to deal with you. I'm just gonna tell Akademiks to tell everybody, don't interview you and just shut you down. That's how I'm gonna deal with you. I say, yeah, I know. It's what you better do. It's what you better do. You
So he
can't
threatened
fuck
to
with me.
blackball you, basically.
Of course. And he did that with Akademiks on Akademiks live stream. Stop interviewing him. He's trying to get T Grizzly trying to get you to turn this guy up. I'm already turned up. We already had 4-5 back and forth before that happened. I'm already turned up. I don't need you. I'm where I am right now because of who I am and because of what I've done. I don't need you to turn me up. You wanted the Akademiks and all the other top streamers and broadcasters, I call them blogcasters. You wanted the broadcasters to shut me down because you know you can't fuck with me. That's why you didn't want him to interview me. It wasn't because the shit I was saying wasn't fact. Everything I said is still fact and it still is what it is. You tried to shut me down because Wack tried to control the narrative. See, what Wack does is that he gets around the top streamers and YouTubers and all the other platformers. He get around them, he befriends them, and he tries to give them access to certain things so that they believe that he is a necessary evil in their life. And then he double backs and he tries to control what they do and how they talk about certain shit. So that's what happened.
Shit, crazy. Now you coined the phrase YouTube streets.
Yeah.
Break this down. What does that mean? How can YouTube and streets go together like that?
Well, I mean, the YouTube is his own world, and what happens, and then you have a lot of, so the YouTube streets is just the vehicle by which people communicate what they want to communicate about anything, whether it's sports, religion, politics, just social events, the social dynamic. We use YouTube more than anything else. We use YouTube more than we use social media, right? Mm-hmm. So some people think that YouTube and social media is one and the same. It's not. You have a broader audience on YouTube, right? YouTube is a platform, like with social media, let's say you go to Instagram, for example. If you type in how to change an engine on a 72 Chevy, right? You can type that into the search engine on Instagram and get nothing. It might show you a Chevy, but it's not going to show you a how-to, DIY, do-it-yourself type situation, right? You go to YouTube, anything you want to know about anything is on YouTube. If you want to see a heart surgery, if you want to see somebody getting their pancreas or gallbladder removed on YouTube, you can find it. If you want to learn how to work a camera, if you want to learn how to turn your social media up, all that is on YouTube. YouTube is a genuine marketplace for information and for ideas to be exchanged and to be observed. And so most people think that social media and YouTube is the same. It's not. The YouTube, it has streets. The YouTube streets is when people talk about all the things that happen in urban media, whether it be sports, politics, religion, music, film, whatever. It's a marketplace for ideas. It's a meeting place for all the things that affect the urban environment or the ghetto worldwide.
Now, should people be on YouTube talking about street stuff?
That's like saying, I mean, it all depends on what it is. Do I think it is? So I just had this conversation last night with my man T.O. Green from ATL, right? And I said, listen, bro, because Atlanta has a real big problem with a lot of the bloggers and podcasters and YouTubers talking about them in the aftermath or the afterglow, the whole YSL situation with Thug and Gunna. And I said to him last night during our live stream, I said, bro, what's the difference? Do y'all call, oh, y'all YouTubers, y'all rats, y'all snitches, y'all talking about street shit? Well, The question is, and the thing I think you're missing, is that street shit is supposed to stay in the street. Street shit is supposed to stay in the street. How does the general public find out about what transpires in the streets? Because y'all talking about it. Because y'all putting it in rap records. How in the world can you expect a motherfucker, or why do you think that a person shouldn't talk about what y'all putting out there? The reason why motherfuckers talking about, the reason why you have YouTubers and podcasters and bloggers talking about what's going on in the street, because you street niggas putting it in the street. They can't believe y'all doing it. So you mean to tell me that once y'all, Gucci Man, Pooh Shiesty, how does anybody know what transpired between Gucci Man and Pooh Shiesty in Dallas, Texas? We know because somebody in one of those two camps leaked it. So it's fair game. Once it gets out into the ethers, it's fair game. But to specifically answer your question, bro, motherfucker can talk about whatever's been. Now, when you doing something, when you taking your time and you going out and you interviewing motherfuckers, you trying to unearth some shit, that's a whole different level. You act like the police then. But if you talking about something that hit the public domain, that's fair game, bro. It's fair game because for one, it shouldn't be. It's not like motherfuckers on YouTube are not following ambulances trying to figure out who got shot, right? Once it hits the airwaves, it's fair game. It's just like when the news, when you don't look at the motherfucker on Fox News, CBS, and NBC, when you watch your local news, you ain't looking at the reporter who reporting on what happened. You ain't looking at them like they no round fucking rats. You saying that because you think that people who operate in the YouTube space are supposed to know better. Why do you assume they're supposed to know better? Why do you assume, first of all, y'all calling the YouTubers and podcasters squares and lames. That should tell you everything you need to know. Right? They squares and they lames, just like what the fuck is that? A newscaster. They square. Most of the people on YouTube are not street motherfuckers. They're not gangsters. So they're not beholden and they're not restricted to the same rules that apply to the streets. Who shouldn't be talking about it is the motherfuckers who actually in it. That's who shouldn't be talking about it, because I don't give a fuck what happens. The general public wouldn't know about it unless you motherfuckers are talking, running your mouth. Either run your mouth, go on to Instagram, go on to Twitter, tweeting and shit, and run your mouth. We wouldn't know, we wouldn't have it to talk about if you niggas, you gangster ass niggas, wouldn't be running y'all gangster ass mouth.
Now, do you feel like you're a journalism?
I absolutely fucking am. Of the highest motherfucking caliber I am.
Because what you did with the just by interviewing the strippers, that was journalism.
Yeah, that was journalism in the truest form. So, y'all not journalists, y'all ain't going to school for it. Bro, the motherfuckers who operate on the YouTube streets, they are better than traditional journalists in this sense, is that we from the streets. So we know what really happened. We know how to articulate certain shit. We know if this happened, then either this, or this happened before, and then as a result of that, this, and this is a natural result of that shit happening. So we know better than a traditional journalist because we actually live in the street. We know how it go. We got our finger on this shit. We can see it. We around shit. So my advice to motherfuckers is y'all better make friends with a YouTuber. Y'all better make friends with a podcaster. You see what Akademiks just did to Lil Baby? Y'all need to, they underestimate the power and the influence of YouTubers. They don't know it. This world, the ghetto, niggas who operate in the hood, they still underestimating YouTubers and podcasters. Oh, y'all swears y'all L7s, bro, listen. This YouTube shit is powerful. Y'all, just like when Akademiks said, yeah, P gave me $30,000 not to speak about Baby Hatfield. Labels giving me money not to critique or criticize the album. They giving a podcaster. They ain't giving that to an A&R. A&Rs don't exist no more. Man, the biggest podcasters in the land are really A&Rs. They have influence because they have a fan base in the tens of millions. You better recognize.
What's your thoughts on Akademiks, allegedly getting slapped and running to the internet to broadcast it?
Well, he didn't run to the internet to broadcast it. He didn't say anything, because this happened August of last year. That whole incident didn't just happen last week or 2 weeks ago. That incident transpired last August. It is February, 7-8 months ago. He didn't run to the internet. Once again, he didn't say anything about it publicly. Lil Baby's personal assistant came on a live stream on Twitch and talked about, he admitted that he slapped Akademiks. Now, you just asked me a question about should bloggers and podcasters be talking about street shit? When it happened, Akademiks called Lil Baby and said, your man mentioned your name and I'm hearing that he's connected to you in some way. Is this your cameraman, your personal assistant or something like that? Baby said, yeah, well, no. He said, well, he popping like you said it. We had just talked. He had just been, they had gotten to it about music and about a couple of other things. And QCP had stepped in and he had put Akademiks on the phone with Baby. And whatever the issue was supposed to be resolved at that particular point in time. So a little while passed, old boy went up on dog and spring on him. He said he slapped him. Listen. You get on us Twitch 2 weeks ago, talked about you put your hands on the motherfucker, and that situation transpired 7-8 months ago. Why would you admit that you slapped Akademiks? You know Akademiks is not a street motherfucker. And you know that he already talked to Baby. So when you get on there telling the story about how you put your hands on him, you're doing 3 things. The first thing is you admitting to you assaulting the motherfucker. That's wise. That's the wisest shit you could possibly do. You on Twitch admitting that you put your hands on the motherfucker. That's one. So you can't say a motherfucker told on you. You know how they do. Oh, you told on me. No, bitch ass nigga. No, you stupid goofy ass nigga. You get on Twitch and tell the whole world you put your hands on the motherfucker who was square. He will tell you he'll call the police on you. He has said, if you do X, Y, Z, I'm a civilian. I'm gonna tell on you. So you did that. Number 2, you exposed Baby because they already had the conversation about it. Baby told him he had nothing to do with it. There's no way that you a broke motherfucker, you Baby's assistant, you was do-boy, you his wire carrier. There's no way you would come on Twitch and talk about you put your hands on Act, trying to embarrass Act if Baby didn't clear it. And even if Baby didn't clear it, nobody's gonna believe he didn't clear it because you would not jeopardize your relationship with being around a Lil Baby by telling the story about something without talking to him about it. Nobody believes that happened. You exposed him. And then you triggered the natural result. You triggered Akademiks going at Baby in the worst way possible. And there ain't shit Baby can do about it because what you gonna do? You gonna put a Chicago on him? You can't do that, you're gonna go to jail. You know you're gonna go to jail. So now he's just using his power and his influence to try to destroy your career. Bad move. But it all stemmed from how would we know, how does the general public know that Akademiks get swung on, get slapped, or somebody attempted to slap you? We know because these gangsters are telling the whole world, so now we can't talk about it. You admitted that you did it. So now as a podcaster, as a YouTuber, I can't talk about what you admitted to the whole fucking world. Man, come on with that dumb shit.
Do you think Baby should fight him? Like, does he have anything to gain by doing this?
He has nothing to gain. Hold on for a second. Baby should be mad at that guy, whoever he is, whether it's his cameraman or his assistant. That's who he should be mad at, bro. So as a result of that, I don't know what the fuck you thought was gonna happen. You knew that trying to embarrass Akademiks like that was gonna turn out bad. You should have known. He did know because Akademiks had already used his flex power on him to talk about his album, right? Does he have anything to lose? Let me think about that for a second, bro. Does he have anything to gain? Outside just beating that ass in public in front of everybody?
Because he doesn't need the money.
You don't need the money, but at the same time, man, once a motherfucker call you out like that, don't forget you said that Akademiks is square. He a bitch, he an L7, he a lame, he ain't a street motherfucker. You are. So, if you do have a problem with anything he's done and said about you in the past, now is your time to tighten his ass up. So yeah, he had everything to gain. I'm finna beat your ass. Cause even before old boy went online and admitted that he slapped you or said that he slapped you, you still had a problem to the point where QCP had to put us on the phone. So I'm still mad about it, even though we left it alone. So yeah, I want to catch you. It's an opportunity for him to catch him and beat his ass in front of the whole world and show the whole world just a bitch ass nigga just running his mouth. And he be hiding behind a motherfucking phone or a camera or a keyboard. And when he steps outside of that, he ain't like he say he is. So in that sense, yeah, you can tighten the motherfucker up who you've had a misunderstanding with, or who believe and saying negative shit about you. Yeah, catch that fade. That's how it go. That's how it go. It's a movement. The streets is there, right? All right, so let's two men enter, one man leave.
Who'd you think would win the fight?
Akademiks. I got 100,000 on Akademiks. I got 100,000. I got 100,000 cash on Akademiks. So if it does happen, I'm fading. I got 100,000. I got 100,000 one motherfucker, or I got 100,000 where I'm fading up to $100,000 in bets. Akademiks gonna beat, baby. It ain't about the size, because they both about the same height, even though Ak is about 30, 40 pounds heavier than him. So being bigger than somebody don't mean that you can whoop him, bro. No, that definitely don't mean that. If you don't know that, you ain't been locked up. You ain't been in jail, you ain't been in prison. Some of the biggest motherfuckers get their ass handed to them by some of the littlest motherfuckers, you feel what I'm saying? So it ain't about that. Lil Woody, little as hell, he was spanking shit. You hear me? So it is what it is.
Did you watch the Adam 22 fight?
Yeah, I did. I streamed it live too. Yeah, I watched that shit. That shit was it was what I thought was gonna happen. What I thought was gonna happen. Adam know that was just, he got paid for it. You hear me? So that was like a WWF, WWE. He got paid for it, so it was what it was. He don't give a fuck. If you don't let somebody fuck your wife on camera, you mean tell me you bring it to a fight knowing you're gonna lose on camera for some money? Adam 22 is selling himself for anything. You don't care. What difference do it make? What's you going? I got beat up. Did you expect me to win?
I don't think anyone did. No.
Nobody expected him to win. So him losing was just a natural conclusion, and he got paid. You got boxers throw fights. You got Christopher Lovejoy, who's been, boy, he done tasted the canvas more than anybody else throwing fights. Don King can tell you that, they throw that fight, man. So nobody expected Adam to win. No, it was just funny. I thought that he would try to put more of a fight than that. Like when you get into a fight with a motherfucker, you turn your back on him and duck your head. Oh, that's just a fight over with. That
was within 30 seconds, too. He was done.
Yeah, it was. That's comedy.
The current state of Atlanta. What's your thoughts on everything that's been going on here recently?
Man, I can't believe you asked me that question, brother. The current state of Atlanta is this. In the aftermath of the whole YSL situation, right? We don't have to even talk about Lucci. Shout out to Lucci, came home and took care of his business, right? He came home and get right into his music bag, which is what he was supposed to do. Let's put Lucci to the side. Let's examine everything else. The current state of Atlanta is terrible for a couple of different reasons. One, when you look at all the guys who are confirmed snitches, confirmed rats, who are part of that whole YSL situation, when you look at the members of YSL who folded either before the trial or during the trial, all them motherfuckers are free right now. They're all free. They're all running around. Some of them have been on this porch being interviewed. They in the clubs, they fucking all the hoes. They at Papados. They at the bars hanging out, enjoying themselves, having fun. How can you have that many rat ass niggas who are able to run around the same city? They ain't relocating, they ain't going to witness protection program or nothing. These niggas are told on niggas, and they back in Atlanta living their best fucking life with their hair down, getting their hair braided. Bro, that right there within and of itself is an indictment for what we got going on down here, bro. Oh, we can't fuck with them, blah, 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 blah. Man, the mafia knocked niggas off. The mafia would go to the mafia would find out where a motherfucking safe house is, right? And go in there and tighten the motherfucker up. You niggas study want to be gangsters and study want to talk gangster shit, but the motherfuckers who try to take y'all out the game, try to remove y'all off the proverbial chessboard of life, are still running around here, and y'all ain't getting nothing to them. Now, I'm not advocating violence in no way, shape, or form, but when you have that many red-ass niggas who not afraid to walk around in an environment where they did all this telling that's some wild shit. That's one. Number two, the whole fuck the streets movement. That whole movement, it's a problem for me. Now you've had some podcasters, and I ain't gonna mention them by name, but you had some podcasters, some southern podcasters who, when people start to reject the whole fuck the streets movement, you had motherfuckers try to chastise bloggers and YouTubers and podcasters for criticizing the whole nature of the fuck the streets movement. And let me say this about that. If you in the streets, you a fool if you want to stay in them. Most motherfuckers get into the streets who really serious, the serious people. We have dummies everywhere. But most motherfuckers who are in the streets, they're not in the streets because they want to be in the streets, bro. When you look at the hip hop elite in Atlanta, from the 21 Savage to the Lil Babies to the Gunners to the Young Thugs, let's just take them for example, right? You got motherfuckers who are multi-millionaires who come from the slums of Atlanta or from Georgia or from wherever, right? They got their money, they got their fame, they got their influence, and instead of elevating themselves out of the conditions they came from, right? Instead of staying out of that shit and transforming their life and transforming the life of their friends, their family members, their homeboys, they use their money, power, and fame to go back to the streets to build themselves into the biggest gangsters they always wish they were. That's ass backwards. The fact that we had an indictment to begin with of some of the biggest rappers in the history of hip hop, that right there shows you how stupid the niggas is. Because you niggas are multi-millionaires. Y'all can go anywhere y'all want to go. I ain't talking about going to Houston or LA or Miami. I'm talking about you niggas could have went to Paris. You niggas could have went to South Africa. You niggas could have went to Belgium. You niggas could have went to Monte Cristo. You niggas went to Switzerland, China, motherfucking Bangladesh, anywhere in the world. But y'all chose to stay down here in the stir pot of all that stupid ass dumb shit. How do you want motherfuckers to look at you? You want niggas to feel sorry for you, but y'all use y'all money, power, influence to dig deeper into the trenches of the street. And instead of guiding y'all homeboys out of that shit and away from that shit, y'all use all that shit to become bigger gangsters. That show you how fucked up niggas is. Y'all had all that access, and y'all turned to the street and created all that chaos. And then once y'all got locked up, y'all said, oh, somebody told on us. What? Somebody told on you? Somebody told on you? How you gonna say somebody told on you when you niggas put who y'all drilled, killed, and spilled in y'all rap songs? Y'all embracing motherfuckers who y'all know, who y'all knew or should have known was rats. Oh, this nigga a rat. Young Thug, shut the fuck up. Because if Gunna a rat, whose fault is it that he was around anybody in your YSL to know what the motherfucker did or didn't do? It was your fault, because you brought him to the fold. Fuck is you talking about? In the mafia, there's a rule. When you bring somebody into the family, and the person you brought into the family turns out to be no good, then whatever happens to them, happens to you because you brought him in. Am I right or wrong?
Mm-hmm. No, that's right.
So where's the responsibility? Where's the accountability? You brought him in, you screaming to the whole world he a rat. Well, explain to me, explain to the other members of YSL, why was this rat around to begin with? 21 Savage said, hey Thug, hey Gunna, out loud. Y'all need to squash that shit. Because we knew that Gunna wasn't no gangster when he snitched the first time. But we still embraced him, and we covered it up for you. And then he went on to say, in the QCP situation, I told you QCP, he added him. I told you was wrong for what you did to your face. But we covered up, we, as in the hip hop elite and the media. The media in Atlanta is just as culpable and responsible for all that shit that was going on as them. Because the media knew these boys was rats, but they covered it up because they were scared. They would be, listen, the media in Atlanta is the most coward motherfuckers. I'm talking about the bloggers and the YouTube niggas, not the interview platforms. Y'all just interview motherfuckers. Y'all don't just carry their bone, right? Motherfuckers up here, they say what they want to say, and it is what it is. But when it comes to the YouTubers and the content creators in the city of Atlanta, they been knew that Gunna was a rat. But they were silenced out of fear because those rappers had so much money, so much power, and they had smacked something for real. But when it comes to that 21 Savage, he exposed everybody. I don't know, listen, worse than the YSL trial was 21 Savage admitting, we already knew you niggas knew. We already knew that y'all knew about all this ratting, right? But when 21 Savage admitted that they covered it up, How many times have we talked about how from hood to hood, from coast to coast, motherfuckers in every hood, in every city across the country, we know people who've been in the game and told them motherfuckers. And there's no consequence for them because they still have money, they still have motion, and you still have people willing to rat out for them and put their life on the line for them because they have money or have something they can gain from that person. That's the same shit. You said, 21 Savage said, QCP, we been knew you was a rat. We covered it up to save face for the city of Atlanta and because you was bringing money to the table for the little young homies. AKA, we fuck with you even though we know you're a rat bastard because we can get benefit from you. What are you telling the whole world when you say that? Why would you admit that? 21 Savage, stay your ass off social media. Stay from in front of the microphone because you obviously don't know what to say and what not to say. You don't understand the consequences of the words you're saying. You just thought that because you're him or you one of them that you could say that kind of shit and it wouldn't be received. You see what 6ix9ine did. 6ix9ine grabbed that shit like you did what? But you the same motherfucker who said Kodak Black was wrong for doing a song with 6ix9ine for $1 million. Oh, you wrong for that. Real niggas don't fuck with rats. You ain't supposed to do a song with him. Ain't that what they said? Mm-hmm. That's what they said. Right? And Kodak Black's response was, my nigga, I ain't part of that politic. I got $1 million for doing a 16 bar verse. And I dissed him and called him a rat in the verse. So you telling me I was wrong for picking up $1 million to do that? Yeah, you wrong because it's principles, it's morals, it's standards, it's protocol if you a street nigga. You from the streets. But then we find out later that you niggas been playing with rats for 15 years, for 10 years. And you knew about it, and you compromised your so-called integrity for some money. That's hypocritical. And so the reason why we saying we don't want to hear that fuck the street movement shit for them, it ain't because it's not real, it's not because it's not necessary, it's not because it's not important, but they only saying fuck the streets in Atlanta because y'all been caught violating the principles and the rules of the streets. So that's why we're rejecting that shit. Make it clear.
Now let me ask you, why should 4, bad seeds label all of Atlanta as snitches and all that then?
That's a good question.
Because like you said, you mentioned Lucci. Mm-hmm. People don't talk about Lucci standing tall as much as they do about the people that snitched.
That's a good
question. Even
question.
Hoodrich Pablo Juan. He did his time, came home, celebrated, but it seems like those celebrations don't last as long as the controversy surrounding the snitches.
Let me tell you this, bro. That's a good question, right? The problem here is that the reason why you have the podcasters, YouTubers, commentators, prognosticators, the reason why, it's 2 reasons, right? One reason is, and I'm gonna name the lesser reason first. The lesser reason is because you have people who are jealous of Atlanta because Atlanta got so much motion. Atlanta is really the center of all black entertainment right now, right? The music, they've been having their way for over a decade now. Had a stranglehold on it when it comes to Future, Lil Baby, 21 Savage, Thug, Gunna. That is hip hop royalty. Those are the biggest selling, the most powerful artists in the country a couple of years ago, right? So some of it may be jealousy, and they couldn't wait to find a chink in the armor somewhere. That could be that is one of the reasons, but that's a minor reason. The major reason is because of this. Hey, street niggas from Atlanta. They camera right there?
This one.
Oh, this one right there. Mm-hmm. Hey, street niggas from Atlanta. I hear y'all talking. I hear what y'all saying. That y'all mad, angry, and upset at the bloggers and the podcasters and all the YouTube niggas, right? Y'all mad at the YouTube streets for trying to label the entire city of Atlanta as rats. Street niggas, the real street niggas mad about that. I hear y'all. We hear y'all, but let me tell you this. How did we get here? We got here, y'all saying now, well, them rappers, them ain't really the street niggas. I can't tell. They presented themselves for the last 10 years as the most gangster niggas from the city of Atlanta. And based on the indictments and based on all the criminal activity, they weren't just saying they're the gangsters. They are the gangsters and they were smacking shit, right? So now y'all saying, don't look at them. What they did is not indicative or not an example, or they don't represent the city of Atlanta. Since when? When it was all good a week ago. When they was having all that motion, you niggas wasn't saying that. Y'all was cheering, clapping, yeah, we winning. But now these niggas been discovered to be some flaw-ass niggas. Now y'all don't want to take responsibility for them. The same way y'all was cheering, pushing and promoting them niggas when everything was good. Y'all gotta take this shit. It don't mean that everybody in Atlanta as a whole, y'all shouldn't be feeling like that. Y'all tired of the media coming down on y'all back? Hey, listen, the people y'all should be mad at is the rappers who y'all allowed to carry out a fantasy or to carry out the lie that they were supposed to be the toughest niggas down here. That's who they should be mad at. Y'all mad at anybody? It's 21 Savage, Lil Baby, Young Thug. It's Gunna's responsibility to stand up in front of all this motherfucking criticism y'all getting. They should be y'all shield. You hear me? It should be y'all shield. How y'all mad at the podcasters for talking about it? Y'all should be mad at the niggas who put the city in shambles. And if you a real street nigga, you ain't making no money off the rap game or off entertainment. What was y'all saying to these niggas when they was putting all that crime and shit in their rap records? You niggas, y'all making it hot for us. We really in the street. We don't got no motherfucking we don't got no rap check coming. We really out here selling dope, robbing, stealing, killing, all the rest of that shit. That's what we really doing. So when y'all go on these rap records and y'all talk, we blessed y'all. We letting y'all say y'all street niggas. We letting y'all say y'all smack shit. We letting y'all tell the whole world that y'all are the biggest and baddest niggas in Atlanta, right? We letting y'all do that. But in exchange for that, y'all can't do shit that's gonna put us in harm's way. The shit y'all doing, all this going back and forth, that shit is putting us in harm's way. Y'all need to talk to the rappers who put y'all in the position to be ridiculed like y'all being ridiculed. That's what y'all need to be mad at. Not no motherfucking YouTuber, because how the fuck the YouTubers know what happened? They know what happened because y'all rap niggas, the rap niggas put it out there. That's why. Duh.
Let me ask you this. Should Gunna apologize to Thug for taking the plea? And should Thug, if that did happen, accept that apology?
Good brother. Gunna came home and under the scrutiny of the general public, he took that shit with a grain of salt. He took all of the you a rat, you this, you that with a grain of salt. And then the leaked jail phone calls came out. And now he knows for a fact that Thug was actively plotting his demise, even though he was signed to him still. He was actively plotting the destruction of his career. Hey Gunna, if you don't stay the fuck away from them niggas and let them niggas ain't had a hit record since. Gunna don't need them because Gunna came home selling out stadiums. He don't need them. He don't gotta have no understanding with them. Whatever you think, bro, right? I did what I thought I had to do for me. If I could take it back, I probably would, or maybe I would. But based on how you handling me, right? Gunna a rat, but QCP ain't no rat though. Wait a minute, y'all niggas been picking and choosing the whole time. We all been picking and choosing the whole time. But you mad at me, you angry with me, you upset with me. But y'all whispering about QCP. But you out with a full throat response about me. Man, fuck him. He better not respond to them niggas. He better not apologize. Fuck him. You don't need him. Nigga, what you niggas they had a hit record. I done dropped hit after hit after hit. I'm more richer now than I am before that shit happened. In the world, the general public don't give a fuck if he did rat. They don't give a fuck. Motherfuckers don't really be giving a fuck about if a nigga rat or not. They just say they do because if you a hood nigga, that's what you expected to say. You expected to say ratting is this and ratting ain't that. My nigga, these niggas, 21 Savage, Lil Baby, Thug, all the niggas is street niggas. They come from the streets. And they still dealt with rat shit because it was advantageous to them. So hell no. Fuck no, you better not apologize. Gunna, if you apologize to them niggas, when I see you, nigga troop or roll over in his grave. Right now, if you apologize to some niggas who was plotting your motherfucking destruction like that, fuck them. Y'all picking and choosing. That's playing selective gangsterism. Selective gangsterism is with street niggas who supposed to be gangsters pick and choose who they want to criticize based on whether a nigga got some money or based on whether they like a nigga or whether they need a nigga or not. Man, fuck them, Gunna. Keep gunning their ass down.
I feel you, bro. All right, let's switch it up, man. Glorilla's sister, Brorilla.
Yeah.
What's your thoughts on everything that's been transpiring this past week between what she's been saying?
Hey, listen. When you come from nothing, when you come from high level of, when you come from nothing, when you come from the hood, you come from the streets, and you make it out, you do have a responsibility to try to look out for your family, for your kinfolk. That's automatic, right? But your kinfolk have to put you in a position where you can do that. I have been in situations with family members. I come out of nothing, my nigga. I come from the gutter. I did 17 years in the penitentiary. I came home and I rebuilt my life, right? And I turned myself into something that people in my family never thought I would be, right? Along my journey, I had family members criticize me and call me a thief, a robber, a no good nigga, everything, right? So I can feel where Glorilla is coming from, because I've had the same thing happen to me. Along my journey with this Dawgface shit, I had motherfuckers, when I first started this shit, I had motherfuckers, they still criticize me right now. I had motherfuckers from Detroit specifically. I've defended Detroit on every level. But I still have motherfuckers saying, oh, you ain't from Detroit, you from Pontiac. Man, go sit your bitch ass down somewhere. If it ain't me, then who? I'm the biggest, this shit I'm doing right now has never been done before. I'm the biggest, most dangerous voice that's ever come out of Detroit. That's one. Number two, I can feel where she's coming from. You do have a responsibility and obligation to look out for your family. But if your family moving against you, right? And if they doing shit trying to tear you down, because we now know that the same sister, the Brorilla chick, she was mad before Glorilla ever had anything and pulled a pistol on her years ago, right? Once you do have an obligation, responsibility to look out for your family and people who help you get to where you are. And even people who didn't help you get to where you are, you do have a responsibility to try to look out for your kinfolk. But if a motherfucker moves against you in any way, shape, or form, it's fuck them. It's as simple as that. The shit her sister doing, that's some pussy punk ass shit. And the bitch retarded. Bitch, high level retardation going on in that motherfucker, man. This bitch on TMZ. It don't get no bigger than TMZ. You on TMZ in front of the whole world. So they ask you, okay, well, if Glorilla was to acquiesce to what y'all saying, how much do you think out of what she has, what could she do for you and for the rest of your family? What could she do for you specifically that'll make you feel like everything is okay? How much money could she give you and you'll be straight with it? This goofy, dumb, retarded bitch talking about $2,500. Did you see that shit?
No, I did. That's what she was.
That bitch said $2,500. Did you see that? She said, did you see it? This bitch said $2,500.
$2,500.
Man, listen. What's the nigga name on TMZ? What's his name? The TMZ, the motherfucker, the white guy and his son, right?
I know who it is.
This motherfucker said, she said $2,500. I was on her side a little bit until this bitch said that. Right? Bitch, if she would have gave you $1 million, bitch, you'd be broke next month. A motherfucker been to finesse your dumb ass out of it. You been to jack it off, got high, fucked it off doing dumb shit. You would be broke within a year if she did give you that money. She said $2,500. Bitch, when she said that, bitch, don't get that Glorilla and Glorilla. This just show you how stupid these niggas is, man. They asked her, well, what could she give you to make things right with you? That bitch said $2,500. Bitch, so you doing all this complaining, you doing all this exposing about it for $2,500? Bitch, you so ghetto, and you so, bro, you are so underdeveloped and undereducated as a human being to where you're just mad and angry and upset about somebody else's success. You ain't trying to put yourself in a situation where you can benefit her in some way. You ain't trying to increase your overall profile so that she can help you become a better person. You just simply sit back, waiting for a motherfucker to give you something. And we know, based on how stupid you've been talking, that whatever she would have gave you, you would have jacked it off. You would have got tricked out of it, finessed out of it, jugged out of it. Don't get them hoes motherfucking thing. Fuck them hoes.
What's your thoughts on a lot of rappers turning to streaming these days? You see it with Finesse 2 times. Soft Walker's been going crazy with it, man.
Ain't no money in rap no more, bro. So they crossed over to where they know the money is. The most influential people in urban entertainment are the streamers and the podcasters. I would rather have a platform that's generating money on YouTube. I would rather have for example, like this platform. You guys have been making money for a long time. Hit and miss. There's no missing for y'all. Right? With a rapper, you have to constantly look for a hit. You're only as good as your last hit. You're only as relevant as your last hit. You can be a one-hit wonder, or you can have a long career, but you're constantly searching for hit records. A YouTuber, all we gotta do is simply talk about you stupid ass niggas all day, all night, and we get paid for it. And there's never any shortage of creative energy because you niggas do dumb shit all day, every day. There's never a shortage of shit to talk about. Niggas do dumb shit. That's what niggas do. There's never a shortage. We never gonna be out of content. Think about it. Every day, you can count on a nigga doing some shit that's dumb as a motherfucker, and there we have it. That is food for us to eat off of. So, the rappers, you better come get some of this money. They understand. You better take whatever leverage you have left and transform that shit into something that's gonna pay you. You better do it. If you better get your ass over here. You know what I mean? It'll be gonna work out for you because a lot of the rappers, they stupid. When I say stupid, I mean like stupid for real. They can't talk. They can't string together a coherent sentence. They're uninterested. A lot of them haven't been groomed, especially in this generation. This generation rappers, they just pluck those niggas out the street and put them in front of a video camera and put them in front of a microphone and told them to rap. A lot of them don't. When you listen to them talk, the reason why these motherfuckers don't want to be interviewed, it ain't because they trying to be elusive. It's because they sound stupid when they open their mouth up. They say they're stupid as shit. They have zero education. All they are people who know how to rhyme words in front of the cameras and the microphones. That's it. That's all they are. So they come in to get this motherfucking money because they know the money is here.
Let me ask you this. Should podcasters and bloggers, should they have a responsibility to cover the positive side of what the artists are doing as much as they do the negative side?
I think in the same ratio that the news does. What's the ratio when you have?
It's not good.
Right. So why put the onus or why put the responsibility on the podcasters and YouTubers that you're not putting on your local news channels? The news is not just reporting who shot who got caught with what dope. The same level. It's the same thing. But I don't think they should look for the podcasters to say anything about them that's not part of the public sector. It's not part of the public domain. It's the same ratio. The same ratio that you expect the magazines and the periodicals to cover what's going on, right? People are going to cover what they think other people want to hear. The news is going to cover what they think other people are interested in. You don't see the news around telling all the good charitable events going on. You see them talking about all the salacious, crazy ass shit going on. So it's the same thing. We don't have any more responsibility to cover the positive shit than any other form of media does. The traditional journalists don't do it. Cause we talk about, we don't see niggas complaining about traditional journalists covering the positive aspect of what they can do. So why you expect that of us? Don't forget, we ain't traditional journalists. We don't know better. We're gonna do just what they doing.
If, posting about positive was profitable, do you think you would see more of it then?
Yes, but it ain't profitable. Listen, listen, in our culture, we bottom feed. We are bottom feeders. Niggas are some naturally jealous and envious and delusional creatures. Niggas rub delusion on like it's lotion. They rub the delusion on. They love to be delusional. They love to be lied to. But we feed off this country, the world we live in. It ain't just the urban environment. It's not just black people, right? The world we live in, it feeds off negative energy, bro. We live in a negative state of affairs right now. Look at the president. Look at Trump and all the shit Trump doing. He shared a video meme of Barack Obama and Michelle Obama with monkey attire. Bro, this is just about capturing people's attention. Whenever it's gonna capture your attention, I'm gonna make some money off that shit. If you want to bottom feed, we some bottom feed motherfuckers. It is what it is.
Now you did win an award in Detroit, man.
Yeah, I did.
Can you talk about this? What type of award did you get?
Shout out to my homegirl Trouble. I shouldn't even be calling her. I should use her real name, right? Shout out to Naisha. She's a community activist on the east side of Detroit in 42 Doug Hood. My office, I own property. I own commercial property and residential property in 42 Doug neighborhood, right? And so over the last 15 years, whenever she's called on me for a coat for kids, school supply, food drives, her father, rest in peace, Mr. Alex Johnson, whenever they called on me for any community involvement, for donations or donate my time or money to any of the community giveaways or community events, I've never told them no. I've always been there. You know what I'm saying? So over the course of the last year or so, I've been going to the roof on YouTube, right? I've been representing and putting on for the city of Detroit, even in the face of some motherfuckers from Detroit criticizing me, right? Because I want you to know one thing, that when I was on Akademiks and I was defending T Grizzly and I was defending 42 Doug, right? And I was defending this Detroit, you had Detroit niggas in Poetic Flacco's DM and Wack100's DM and Akademiks DM. You had Detroit niggas who I'm never gonna say their name because they pieces of shit and I would never put their name on a platform like this. They can just sit back and keep on watching me do what I do, you bitch ass niggas. But when I was defending Detroit, you had niggas from Detroit in Wack100 DM, in Poetic Flacco DM, in Akademiks DM saying negative shit about me and T Grizzly. Street niggas, not no squares. You had street niggas trying to sabotage me, trying to defend Detroit. That's why I don't give a fuck about that shit no more, bro. I don't give a fuck about that shit no more. The award, shout out to the mayor, our first female mayor, Mary Sheffield. Shout out to Miss Sheffield, the Honorable Miss Sheffield. Mary Sheffield, she won the mayoral campaign. Shout out to the entire city council, Letitia Johnson, and the whole city council is a Distinguished Service Award for Media Communication because I have been a lion when it comes to defending all things in Detroit. And even though people think that I'm negative, I'm really more positive than I am negative. So they gave me that award. It's the first time a YouTuber, podcaster, streamer, or anybody has won a Distinguished Service Award from the Detroit City Council. That was the last thing Mary Sheffield signed, because she was the city council president, and then she went on to become the mayor. The last thing she signed was my Distinguished Service Award in media communications. So that's the first time a blogger, podcaster, YouTuber has ever won an award like that. I'm the first one, so I made history with that.
Congrats on that, man.
Yeah, I appreciate that.
All around the country, especially here in Atlanta, we're seeing a lot of ICE protests, man.
Yeah.
What's your thoughts on seeing that in a city like Atlanta that, is majority black?
First of all, I ain't protesting the motherfucking thing for the motherfucking Mexicans. It ain't just Mexicans, because it's immigrants, period, right? If you a legal immigrant, get your ass up out of here. Go on back to where you came from. Since you don't like America, since America's so fucked up, take your ass on back over there, that's one. Number two, black people in this country, we are Americans, we are America's first minority, right? And black people need to start to re-examine our relationship with America's other minorities. Because America's other minorities, Arabs, Chaldeans, the Asians, the Hispanics, Latinos, right? Our interests are not aligned anymore. And so whereas we're not living in the 50s and 60s where we were dealing with the Julio Cesar Chavez's and the Che Guevara's, right? A lot of the immigrants coming over to this country right now, they're coming over here with preconceived notions about how fucked up black people are. They come over here already brainwashed and whitewashed. So when they come over here, oftentimes our relationship with them are more negative than our relationship with white people traditionally, right? And so you have the immigrants coming over here, and a lot of them are coming from war-torn countries. They fleeing religious and persecution and social persecution, right? They're coming over here and they are actively engaging with and forming allegiances with people who traditionally, white people, Caucasians, don't like niggas. So now, y'all are our enemy just like the white man is our enemy. You feel what I'm saying? People say, well, they ain't all bad. Hey, listen, all white people didn't believe in slavery. All white people didn't support the institution of slavery, but that didn't stop it from happening. All white people didn't support the hanging, the lynching, the burning, the raping, the kidnapping, and the murder of black people, right? All white people didn't agree with that. You had some white people who found that shit repulsive and wrong, but that didn't stop it from happening. So the whole thing is, black people, we don't have the luxury, and we ain't got the time of trying to convince no other motherfucking minorities that what the white man said about us ain't true. Y'all either with us or y'all ain't. If y'all not, when we Fernando Castillo, Ahmaud Arbery, Trayvon Martin, the sister who got shot in Dallas, right? All the different shit that we suffer at the hand of the police, you don't see no motherfucking Somalians and I ain't just talking about Mexicans, because I'm saying fuck them Africans too, because the Nigerians and Somalians, they don't look at black people in America like we're their brothers, like we're their sisters. They look at us with the same level of disdain in their eyes that white people have for us as a people. So we ain't with that neither. Fuck them. I don't give a fuck what ICE do. Follow the law, motherfucker. That's what you do. Follow the motherfucking law. Don't come over here now talking about black men. No. Keep that same energy. Because we was protesting against the George Floyd situation and everything else. You ain't see no motherfucking Mexicans protesting with us, putting themselves on the front line for us, finna get shot for us, getting sprayed, maced, hosed down, getting dogged. No, see, listen. See, y'all being tricked by the white man. Y'all don't understand. See, black people, we know. We've been over here 500 years. We know what the white man gonna do. So for all you, we told y'all don't vote for that motherfucker. Mr. Trump! Mr. Trump! We vote for Mr. Trump! Mr. Trump finessed and jugged y'all ass. We know, see, black people, we know that Trump wasn't shit. By and large, we told y'all don't vote for Trump. And this is no joke, I'm dead ass serious. Hey, listen. All Trump did in his first term. Mm-hmm. All he did was spend hundreds of millions of dollars erecting a wall along the southwestern border of this country to keep y'all out. Mr. Mexican, Miss Mexican, that's all he did. El Stupido, that's all he did. So what happened between his first term in office and in the second run for presidency? What did he do to convince y'all that the shit that he was doing in the first term in office, that wasn't what he was on? Oh, he promised us that he wasn't going to touch the documented immigrants. He promised us that. He lied to y'all. And now that y'all know he lied to y'all, y'all will, we told y'all not to vote for him. So overall, loud and clear objection. Over the fact that during his first term, he did everything in his power to keep y'all out of here. Right? And even right now listen, I cracked a joke, but I'm dead ass serious, right? Even right now, there's a concentration on getting the Mexicans, the Hispanics out of the country. But do you know there are more illegal immigrants who are from Europe in this country than there are Hispanics?
I did not know that. No.
That's true. There are more Europeans who are living in this country with expired visas than there are Mexicans. There are more Europeans who are living in this country who are not supposed to be here. Europeans. but your focus is on, so Trump is wrong. He dead ass wrong. But at the same time, when we were struggling, when we were protesting, y'all wasn't trying to hear what we were saying, and y'all was siding with the white man and with the government against us. So now the white man turned their eyes on y'all. And y'all want us to come to y'all assistance. I think not. Fuck you. Motherfuck you. And no, the answer is no. I want some no nigga out there protesting for some motherfuckers who don't like y'all. And Mexicans don't like black people in this country. Period. You don't believe me? Oh, see, in Atlanta, there's no heavy concentration of Latinos and Hispanics, right? Go to Southern California. Go in a situation where the Hispanics dominate and watch how they treat you. They don't like black people. Simple as that. And I'm not criticizing them. It's cool y'all don't like us. But when it's time for y'all to ask us for help, we're gonna give y'all the same level of help y'all gave us. And you can't be mad about that.
Now, Dawgface, you sat here on these steps a couple of interviews ago and said you was voting for Trump.
I did.
Has your opinion changed on Donald Trump?
No, it hasn't. When it comes to what last election, for example. So listen, I'm not a Democrat nor am I a Republican, bro. One of the biggest problems with black people is that we fall in love with things. We're brand conscious. We're brand loyal. We love Cadillacs. We love Mercedes. We love Rolexes. We love this. We love that. We love this. We love that shit. Black people are the most brand conscious people in the world. I know white people who are multimillionaires. They shop at Walmart and Target and Kohl's for their kids. I know niggas who live in the ghetto, who live in poverty. They go into Somerset, Phipps, North Park, Ball Harbor, International Mall, Rodeo Drive, Melrose, because we come from nothing. So we love to show what we have. So we're brand conscious, right? The political spectrum is about being brand conscious too. The Republican Party don't give a fuck about us. The Democratic Party don't give a fuck about us, right? Excuse me. I was taught that you vote for the people who has your best interests at heart. And you're never going to get a political candidate on either side of the political spectrum to be 100% for you. So you have to decide between the lesser of two evils. The lesser of two evils in that last election was Donald Trump. As evil as he is, as rude, as belligerent, as hypocritical, as racist, as is Donald Trump a pedophile? I think he is. I think he most certainly is. Was he on Epstein Island sucking cock? I believe he was.
Allegedly.
Allegedly. Yeah, he was, right? Let me tell you this. There's a push to make this entire country gay, right? There's a push to promote and to push and to endorse homosexuality on the whole world. We're living in modern day Sodom and Gomorrah. That's one. Number two, the Democratic Party, they're trying to force homosexuality down our throat. They're trying to force the transgender world on down our throat. During the Biden administration, when Kamala Harris was vice president, they were passing laws to make men who identified themselves as women, as transgenders, to make them equal to women. I don't agree with that. I don't believe in that. I don't believe that a man who identifies himself as a woman in his own mind, I don't think that you are equal to a woman. I don't think that boys who identify themselves as girls should be able to compete in sports with girls. Because I don't give a fuck what you think in your own mind, respectfully. Do you have the right to exist? Yes, you do, right? Do you have the right to be able to achieve and to work and to be free from persecution and harm? Yes, you do. You have the absolute right. But you don't have the right to force your belief system on me or anybody else. So if you say something about somebody who's homosexual, then you're a homophobe. I can say that I don't like or don't agree with how you live in your life. I can say that without you calling me a homophobe. I can disagree with what the fuck you got going on without you being able to label me as a homophobe, bro. It's as simple as that. I don't believe that a man is equal to a woman. And I don't believe that the government should be passing laws to try to make a man who believes he's a woman equivalent to a woman. You're not a woman, bro. You're a man who believes that you're a woman. That's not a woman. Nigga, I think I'm a millionaire. That don't mean you're going to pass the law and make me one, don't you? You can't force that kind of shit. So therefore, when the Democrats are pushing shit like that, I can't rock with that shit. I'd rather have Trump. You hear me? And then this world, this country, this society, they need Trump. You know why? Because you don't want to go vote. You don't want to participate in the political process, right? You don't want to be actively involved with the people who create laws that affect your life, right? Trump has shown motherfuckers one thing. You need to be aware. You need to be engaged with the political process. All this shit about you don't give a fuck, not giving a fuck, it got us where we are right now. You need to start giving a fuck. So I would vote for Trump again. Well, Trump said so and so, so and so, the lesser of two evils, man. I'd rather vote for him than vote for a motherfucker who's saying that if a school system doesn't acknowledge and doesn't allow young boys who identify themselves as trans to use the same facilities, bathrooms, locker rooms as girls, it doesn't allow them to compete in sports, that girls competing against girls. Imagine you having a daughter who is in the 8th grade, who's in middle school. She's 4'11", 130 pounds. And you go to her swim tournament, her swim meet, and you see a boy who's in the 8th grade, a big youngin'. This motherfucker is 6'2", 230. The school has to let him compete against your daughter because he identifies himself in his own mind as a trans. Man, if you don't get the fuck on up out of here, if you don't get the fuck up out of here, if you don't get the fuck up out of here, that's insanity, bro. I can't wait for Jesus to come back and deal with this shit. Jesus can't come back here fast enough for me. He needs to hurry up and come on down here and deal with this shit. This whole world is fucked up.
Now, you got New York really mad at
They
you.
some sissies.
What is happening here? Why are you calling them sissies?
New York, as it relates to hip hop. I'm talking about hip hop. Bro, the one thing that people don't understand, and I've talked to some of the biggest names in hip hop, in radio, they all agree with me. It's just the people who lack perspective, lack understanding, who took offense to what I'm saying. Hip hop was born out of the disco era in the late 1970s, early 1980s, right? In New York. New York is the birthplace of hip hop. Mm-hmm. Hip hop was born out of the whole disco era. The first hip hop superstars, they were dressed in leather pants, boots, high heels. They had jerry curls, S curls. They wore blush, lipstick with silk shirts, unbuttoned, with the nipples on hard. Going to Studio 51 in Manhattan, which was a gay magnet. They was with RuPaul, and they was with the fashion. The fashion industry in New York was all gay. All the Gucci and the Versace's and all that kind of shit. Before they moved to Miami, they was in New York. They was snorting cocaine and sucking each other's dicks. They were sissies. The early hip hoppers, the Grandmaster Flashes and all that shit, Curtis Blow and all that shit. Curtis Blow is sissy. Africa Bambaataa in the Zulu Nation, one of the most powerful aspects of hip hop in history. He been, I gotta say this for you, allegedly raping and molesting young boys in New York for 40 years. And they all know it. And ain't none of them goddamn rappers, no Jay-Z, no Nas, no Fat Joe. That's another subject, I'll get into it. Ain't nobody saying nothing. But they want to criticize Atlanta. Atlanta gay. They got the sissies down there. No. The sissies in Atlanta wasn't known for being gay, bro. If you think back, you own the river. When the Freaknik was going down, bro, mm-hmm. Atlanta was not known as the ground zero for all black homosexuals in this country. And Atlanta started to grow in popularity, started to transform itself into the seat of entertainment. With entertainment, it comes everything with entertainment. Entertainment brings the worst part of the human being with it. So the biggest executives in Atlanta, they were groomed by New York. Michael Malden, Jermaine Dupri daddy, legendary person. He's not gay, but I'm saying he came from New York. All the big executives from LaFace and everywhere else, when Atlanta started to grow in popularity and became the seat of hip hop, the executives from New York came down here. Waka Flocka Mama, L.A. Reid, all the motherfuckers, they all came from New York. Puffy came down here with Bad Boy South. They brought that perversion with them down here in their back pocket. All the motherfuckers in New York are some sissies. The term homo thug, where it come from? That's New York lingo. So where's your Tupac trying to tell us it's a bunch of sissies? And now we know that Biggie Smalls got transgenders in his video. Bro, you didn't know what the fuck no transgender was in 1996 and 95, 90, what? We don't know, we call them gay. We don't know about, you got a motherfucker, you got it in your video? Bro, listen, Busta Rhymes. Will you take a look at that shit this motherfucker got going on, man? Busta Rhymes is a hot sissy. He a hot sissy. All that gay shit going on in New York, they mad about it, do something about it. New York is the birthplace of sissies in hip hop. They introduced sissies into hip hop. When you look at them, look at all the football motherfuckers. And now, the hottest music trend in the world right now, guess what it is? It's called the Zesty Drill.
Zesty Drill?
Yeah. I know you seen this shit. They got to dance.
I saw a few on your page.
They got to dance. They walk up to strangers, tap you on the shoulder, tap you on the leg, drop it down, and they drop down and do a twerk move, and they take the head and they put the head through the ass and hit the ass cheek with it. Man, if you don't get the fuck out of here doing fag ass, sissy ass niggas, man, they sissies. New York as a whole, they introduced sissies to hip hop. Diddy been running around terrorizing the niggas with putting dick on them. Allegedly. No, he ain't locked up. He locked up. Ain't no ledge with him. I alleged everybody else, but he don't get no ledge. We gonna fuck it allegedly. Diddy been running around sexually assaulting motherfuckers, allegedly, for 20 years. Who knew? Who knew? Wendy Williams knew. The star from the Star Report knows. Angie Martinez knew. Ebro, Rosenberg, they knew. DJ Envy, Charlamagne the God, they knew. The media, and I'm serious now, I crack some jokes, but now the media in New York, they know that what I'm saying, I've talked to several people. I've talked to some of the most legendary figures in entertainment and in media from New York. They said, everything you saying, Dawgface, is right and exact. There is a large contingency of homosexuality going on in hip hop and always have been. We have been under the illusion that hip hop is machismo, gangsters, thugs. Say, man, some of the most legendary motherfuckers in hip hop, some of the most iconic figures in hip hop from New York are homosexual. And but now it's they do to do now. But back then they got married just to save face. Most they had kids just to save face. And a lot of them have kids that their wife has been sleeping with somebody else. They ain't even their kids because they're repulsed by women. But back in the day, motherfucker could be gay, but if you're a public person, you have a wife just for public appearances. But I've talked to some of the most powerful people in the world of music. I've talked to Star from the Star Report. Star said, you're right. He said, I'm mad at you because you stopped the African Bambaataa. He said, long before that, you know what I'm saying, the first generation of hip hop, he said, majority of them were gay. They didn't put that out there because hip hop wasn't embracing of homosexuality like that.
Shit's crazy, man.
Yeah, it is. So it's no wonder. New York brought homosexuality to Atlanta. They used hip hop to do it. Period. And I'm standing on that. And we can fight about it.
Dawgface, what's next, man? 2026, starting off strong. How we plan to, finish out the year? These
comedy shows. I'm in the stand-up comedy now. I just had my stand-up. I just had stand-up comedy shows. So you get different spaces. You have the commentators on YouTube, like the Akademiks. You have the interview platforms such as this, and other interview platforms. And then you have the influencers who get interviewed for their perspectives about all things, whether it's politics, religion, entertainment, sports, whatever. I'm on that tip. I never thought I would be here, but I'm here and I'm enjoying it. And it is what it is. Stand-up comedy. I'm doing everything. It's Dawgface. It's stand-up comedy, interviews. I'm booked up when it comes to interview. I'm all over the country. I'm finna leave tomorrow, as a matter of fact, to go out west to do some interviews. And I come back and I go down to Miami to do something too. But it's all things Dawgface, man. I'm trying to be the biggest motherfucking voice in urban culture.
Definitely on your way. That's the show, man. Yeah. Any shout outs you want to give before we get you out of here, bro?
Man, listen. Shout out to everybody who have been supportive of me. Shout out to everybody who have put up with my narcissistic, rude, ignorant ass behavior. Shout out to everybody who team Dawgface, man. Shout out to everybody who want to see me win. Shout out to everybody who want to see me win. If you don't want to see me win, bitch, turn your TV off. That's it.
These niggas bitches, never been a thief, I'm a robber, it's a difference. Anytime there's beef or a problem, I get ignorant. Niggas